Hello, and welcome to another episode of the
Latin
Latin
voices.
voices.
No drums today. um, okay, so welcome everyone to another episode of the Latin Voices, and today's topic is
Real talk, navigating setbacks without losing your spark.
yes. So that's a very good topic for today. So let's introduce before we dive into our topic. Let's introduce ourselves. So hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but I currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hi everyone, my name is Yesenia, but everyone knows me as Jessie. I'm a nurse by professional. I'm original from Cuba, but I live in Ontario, Canada. Also a digital entrepreneur. I have my business online. I'm a mentor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. I'm originally from Mexico, but I live in USA. I am a wife, a mother of three amazing kids, and a grandmother of two. I'm a proud digital business owner and a mentor.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Jesse. We also want to remind everyone that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinar. So we have one tonight. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business, all you have to do is register at any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar tonight, which happens at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So when you register into a webinar, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So the first one is to register to the live webinar. That link will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday and one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. Second link is to the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot make it to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can still catch the replay of the live webinar and watch it at your own convenience from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So when you register into the webinar and you go into the webinar, what you will find out is how our online business plan works. And also you get to hear from the testimonials, which we're going to show you who will be the host and panelists from tonight live webinar. They're going to be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So let's find out who are the hosts and panelists for tonight's live webinar.
Okay, so if you're ready to learn more about this amazing business, don't forget to register on any of the websites on the screen. And like Sandy said, we have a live webinar tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Our host for today, we have a couple, Karen and Chris. Karen is a former vice principal, and Chris is a firefighter. We also have Dustin. He is a nurse. PB and Josh. PB is a registered nurse, a former nurse, and Josh is an R&B host. Audi, she's a registered nurse, and Mike and Lynn are franchise owners and entrepreneurs.
All right, so we also have Eunice. She's a nurse practitioner, Stephanie, healthcare worker, and Deborah Ann, a member of service represent. So all these beautiful people with different backgrounds, different paths, they're going to be on in a live webinar. Remember, today is Thursday, May 1st. Times are 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST, so Pacific and Eastern time. So if you want to know, is remember, this is a free. The only thing you have to for to get to this information, you need to register with your name and email on any website, and you will get the information how to start your own digital business.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Jesse. And we also want to mention that our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And our replays has subtitles in several languages. All right, so let's dive in into our topic for today.
All right, our topic for today. So I just want to let everyone know, to the audience and for Sandy Isabel, my internet is like freaking out. I'm getting a little bit like a background and I'm behind. So, but I'm here. Just let you know. All right. So the topic for today is real talk, navigating setbacks without losing your spark. So let's dig in.
Yes. So let's be real for a moment. Setbacks happen in life. Okay. So it happens in life, it happens in business, it happens in relationships. But the question isn't it if you'll face challenges. The question here is how would you respond when they show up? So because the truth is your spark, your fire, your purpose, okay, can survive any setback if you can learn how to protect and reignite it. Okay, I I encountered, like, I can say a little anecdote about me on this journey. I faced it, and then I was, like, I didn't face it the proper way, but I was lucky that I had a member from our community who helped me, and then I was able to bounce back. So today we're gonna show you how you can bounce back, and it's normal to feel that way because we're humans. But the question is, to go back and continue our journey. So that's what we're gonna be talking today. So, what are we gonna be diving into today?
Okay, so today we are diving into a powerful, honest conversation: how to navigate setbacks without losing your spark.
Yes. So maybe you have hit a wall in your business. Maybe life threw something at you that knocked the wind off your sails. Or maybe you feel like you're doing all the right things, but nothing is moving fast enough. Well, first of all, you're not alone. Okay. We have been there in different, type of our journeys. Every successful person you admire has gone through this too. Okay. So setbacks are not the end of the road. Okay. They are a turning point. So let's talk about how to face them with grace, with grit, and growth. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So what are today's point?
Okay, our
Okay, so today's points are point number one, acknowledge the setback, don't avoid it. Point number two, reconnect with your why, really important. And point number three, this is the getaway. Guys, ready? It's adjust, don't abandon. So we're going to tell you our personal experience on these different topics. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Let's go to the first point.
okay, our first point for today: acknowledge the setback, don't avoid it. And we're very good about avoiding things, but when we avoid things, we're also setting our growth back. We're holding it. We're not letting ourselves grow when we avoid setbacks. So it's okay to say, this is hard, because believe me, I think you can all agree, when you're starting something new, it's always going to be hard at the beginning, right? It's okay to feel disappointed, frustrated, or even burned out, when you're trying to adjust to a learning curve, when you're just adapting something new. It's going to be hard, and it's going to be, frustrating at times, but you just have to keep going, keep pushing yourself, okay? The worst thing we can do is pretend we're fine when we're not. And believe me, everybody can notice it. when you keep telling yourself that I'm fine, I can do it, but your frustration is something that other people can see. It's visible. You feel it, and you also show it. So don't pretend to be okay, because when you reach out, when you ask for help from other people, maybe your obstacle, your problem, your situation can have a, a, a it can be resolved, right? So don't keep it to yourself, and don't pretend nothing's happening. Your emotions are your weaknesses. They are signals. And I think I was just talking about this. When you have emotions, the things that you're feeling, you can see when somebody has anger, when somebody is sad. You can tell all these emotions, right? Well, our emotions are our weaknesses because we can't hide them from anybody. We show them. And you don't want to hide them. You want to be you want to be able to show what you're feeling, and let everybody around know, like, when you're happy, yeah, you want everybody to know that you're happy. Well, when you're having challenging times, also let them show, express yourself, and ask for help, ask for support. Give yourself permission to pause and process. And a lot of times that's something good to do, when you're getting frustrated, when things are not working out the way you want to. Maybe you're trying to put a presentation together. Maybe you're trying to get something together, and it's just not working. It's just like you look and you look, and there you don't find the answer, right? Well, let me tell you, pause and get away from it for a second, process it, give yourself a break, breathe some fresh air, come back to it, and more than likely, you're going to see the answer right in front of you that you didn't see before because you were too overwhelmed and you couldn't see it, right? So let me give you some examples, or an example. Some of the greatest breakthroughs happen after someone admits they are struggling. That's when clarity, new ideas, and fresh energy comes in. So it's okay, it's okay for you to say and accept, more than anything, accept that this is challenging for you. It's okay. Not everybody knows the answers to everything. When you're trying to learn something new, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna get frustrated, and it's okay to tell the other person or somebody around you, I'm having a hard time with this, and more than likely, they'll be able to help you. Okay, honesty is the first step to healing and rising again. So, that there's always a comeback, as long as you don't give up. That you could be facing very, very challenging struggles. You could be at the point to where you think you can't take no more. But when you take the time, when you're honest about it, and you take the time to heal, you're going to come back stronger, and you're going to come back energized and determined to keep going. So give yourself that time too. That's what I have.
Thank you, Isabel. Go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, okay. There. Yes, Isa, that's actually, that was pretty good. When I look at these points, acknowledge. That's the first step. That's what we have to do. We have to know where we at, and what we are surrounded, and what we react. Acknowledge that you are disappointed. Acknowledge that you are frustrated. Acknowledge that you want to cry. Acknowledge that you are happy. That is the first step. And if you know what, you acknowledge that, you will know what to do next. You will start, you will know your point, your first step. Because if you feel burn out, that's what I felt before I started this business. I acknowledge that. If you haven't acknowledged that, I will have keep working continuously on my work, trying to continue picking up more chef, because for me, if I have acknowledged that, that was a weakness, because the other people were doing it, why I was weak? Why could I do it? What, I'm not the same than them, so acknowledging that, it will keep you apart. So now I know, that I was overworked. I was not good. I was feeling bad. I didn't feel that I was moving on. So I acknowledge that, and then I make a decision to make a change. I make a decision to change my life. I made a decision to start my own business. That will help me to get that money or that extra income. But the more thing that I was looking for was for that time. I was looking for freedom of time. I want to have time with my family and my friends, time for myself, because I was overworked, I was overwhelmed, nothing was working for me. I was getting a black spot, so I needed a change. But that was the first thing that I did. I did acknowledge where I was, and that's when the changes start happening.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Isabel. Just to add a little bit, because like both of you already pretty much touched about it. Um, so acknowledge. I think acknowledge. They will be acknowledged to everything. Not only to setbacks, because sometimes we also have to acknowledge. When we are not very strong on something. So um, that's the only way that you can find out, how can you, okay, so I know this is not my strength, so what can I do about it? How can I um improve what is not my strength? So the knowledge is really, like that's the first thing you have to step to do in everything in life, really. um and the examples that show here, like if you don't acknowledge that and you keep ignoring them, in reality you are the one who's hurting you. No, nobody else is. So you really have to let yourself and tell yourself, what, okay, yes, I know that, um I don't, I feel down, for example, like if you're in your emotions, I feel down, okay. um is it something that are you going to be able to deal by yourself, or is it something that you might need someone to help you, through that? So if you can do it through yourself, then just feel down. I think we're going to talk later about that, but um so I'm not going to go into deep into this because I think that's another point. But if you feel down, just acknowledge it. And if you need help, from somebody else, then reach out to for someone else to help you out on that area. But yeah, you need to acknowledge and accept, whatever it is that is not letting you go forward, or that you or something that you don't have a strength. Reach out, and find out, how you can improve that, or if you need help, how you can do that, so you can move forward, uh, and don't stay in the same place. Okay, and you can rise again and bounce back, like I mentioned on my example at the beginning. So let's dive into our point number two.
All right. So our point number 2 is reconnect with your why. Okay. This is really important. This is something that we always talk, that we always remember people when they connect with us, with our mentees and the people that want to start the business, reconnect or remember your whys. This will keep you, they will like it's like the fire, like the things to the fire to keep it going. Okay, when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. This is really important, guys. What is important, and what is to be more present with your family, what is to stop living paycheck to paycheck, what is to prove to yourself that you're capable of more. So what's your whys? One second. There. Sorry. My dog is like going crazy here. So this is important, because if remember the first step was recognizing. Now is remind you knowing why you want to keep going, why you want to that change. What do you want, with that change? And that it will keep your fire going. This is really important. I always say what I always want is time with my family. I want freedom of time so I can travel because I love traveling, but I cannot do it. I cannot do it because I have extra chef. I have my nursing career that I cannot take more than 2 weeks off because then it's a problem. So you guys know how that works. So if you know your why, that will keep you going. Like you want to have more time with your family, there you go. That's your why. You want to be able to not worry about about that paycheck that we get every 2 weeks or every week or whatever, once a month, whatever you get paid. If that's your why, then you have to put all into it. to get a residual income coming in. So, because no, that's what you want, so you want to feel yourself that you're capable of more. Then it's, start doing classes, keep going with your training. Then you will see how capable are you, what things can you change. You want to have a change of mindset. Well, start taking do the training, start connecting with other people, go to webinars, go to things, and you will see how your main mindset shift, because that's your why. So it will remind you to go to that meeting. It will remind you to connect with a next business partner. We remind you to contact someone else from Germany or the other world, around the world. So if you know your why, that will keep going. Like we keep telling you what I keep doing this. What is important. If I don't have a why, maybe it's not that important for me to keep doing this. But if you know your why, you will do anything possible to get it going. You will do anything possible to make it happen. All right. So let's go deep to this example. Why is the fuel behind your fire? And when the journey gets tough, is your why that keep you is your why that keep you moving forward. Not the results, not the numbers, not the likes. Because let's see, if your why was to have a continuous flow of income, and every 2 months or every month or every week or every day you're getting 45 cents. Let's just put an example. It's just for an example, guys. And you're getting 45 cents every day. So that's your why. So you don't want that why to stop. So that will keep you remind you, like it's gone 5 o'clock. Oh my gosh, I don't have another. I can do this. I can do that. I cannot get this going or whatever. But the other day you wake up and you see that 45 cents in your account. You can what you say? I can do this. I have to keep going. I have to try to convince that 45 cents to 50 cents or $1 or whatever it is, because you want more. You want to get there. So it's just remembering, why you start this. What do you want this business to work? So that's something that we always remind to everyone that start their business with us. If you remember your why, it will keep you going. Like we say, it will keep you warm on the cold days, because it will keep you going for what do you want. So your spark live in your purpose. So if you have a purpose, you have the spark. You want to have you're going to keep going. Go back to it. So that's what it is. When someone say, "Oh, I'm having a hard time," we always say, "Okay, what's your why you want to keep this business?" And that will tell them, okay, that will remind me, oh yes, I want more time freedom, I want more money, or whatever that your why is, whatever the case is. And that's you're going to go back to it.
Thank you, Jessie. Yes, and I do believe that your why is the strongest thing you have to motivate you to keep going. And your why is actually the spark that started everything, right? And as long as you have that why, the spark is gonna keep burning, and you're gonna keep going for the things that you want. What do you want? Why did you start the things that you're doing? I don't know if you're doing something right now, something important, and you had a reason why you started, right? Like for me, I started this business because I wanted to be a present mother for my children. I needed more time with them. I needed quality time. I needed to be there for my parents. So my why, every time, when I feel like I'm not like feeling motivated, I remember, why did I start and what is it that I'm trying to achieve? And that's going to keep me going every time, right? Is you want something better. You don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck and going into work for somebody that maybe you don't even, somebody you don't like, or something you don't enjoy. I remember when I was working every Sunday evening, I was depressed. I was like, oh no, it's already Sunday. I gotta go back to work tomorrow. Like, it was so bad. Like, I dreaded Mondays. I didn't want to go back. And nowadays, this is actually the first time I remember that. But I don't think about the days of the week of being a pain to me, because they're not a pain. Every day I have plans for that day. And so I'm looking forward to that day. I'm not dreading the day to be here. In fact, the days go by so fast. I run out of time. I'm trying to do more, and the day's already gone, right? But that's what happens when you enjoy the things that you do. And the reason why you started is the motor. That's what's going to keep you going, and that's what's going to be your biggest reason of why you do the things that you do every day. um at the beginning, when I started the business, I didn't even think about personal growth. I didn't even see that in the picture. Like, I'm just going to do a business. I'm trying to earn income online, but I didn't think that I was going to gain anything out of it. And today, I'm so happy, so blessed, and so proud to say that, I'm gaining all this personal growth. Things I didn't think I was capable of, I'm doing them today. If you would have told me 3 years ago that I was going to be doing some of the things that I'm doing today, I would have said, there's no way, because I didn't have it in my mind. I didn't see myself doing the things that I'm doing, but I do them today. I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I enjoy it, right? And then the example, your why is the fuel behind your fire. That's what's going to keep you going. That's going to be the spark, in you. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel that every day, like, this is my why. I want to keep going. And you're not going to be depending on, okay, maybe I got a like. Oh, I didn't get any likes today, or I didn't get any followers today. I didn't have any results today. Believe me, when you're doing this every day, you're going to be gaining something. Maybe it's not going to be likes, maybe it's not going to be new followers, maybe it's not going to, but you're going to be gaining knowledge, you're going to be gaining confidence, you're going to be, loving the things that you're doing. And once you enjoy it, once you start doing that, the results are going to follow. It's just the way that it works. When you're convinced that the thing that you're doing is really what you love, then everything is going to fall in place. And then your spark lives in your purpose. Go back to it. We all have a purpose. Don't ever forget the purpose of why you started something. That's your biggest spark. So don't let it go. Always stay focused, and don't let anything, um, distract you from what you were trying to achieve at the beginning when you decided to start whatever is it that you're working on right now.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Jesse. Just for me to add a little bit into this, what I was saying before and the point before is that it's normal that, you might feel down, like, for example, like here, it says you might feel like quitting. Um,
Mhm.
but the question here is, like, you have to let your emotions go out, which is normal because we are all human. We cannot hide our emotions. Um, but the thing is, like, you can have your moment where you let those emotions down. If you have to cry, you cry. But the thing is, like, once you do that reflection on what you are releasing, because you needed to release it, you cannot keep it inside. um, then the next thing is, okay, what am I gonna do about it? Okay, because you need to bounce back, you need to rise again. Okay, you don't have to stay there, because if you stay there, then you gonna stagnate and then nothing is gonna move. Okay, the idea is here, keep moving. So once you feel down, you let those emotions go out, then reflect on, okay, what is it that I need to do, to be able to continue to move forward? What is my why? Why am I doing this? That's why we're talking about the why. And I can give you an example. There was a moment where I was like doubting myself, like, in this journey, because this journey is not easy. It has its ups and downs. And I was doubting myself, did I make the right decision? Am I is this really gonna work? And I know it works, because I see the blueprint. I see so many people that that have changed their lives. um but I was doubting myself, but then I reflected, and I set myself back, and then I say, okay, why am I doing this? Why in the first place I decided to take this journey? What are my reasons behind? And then once I figured out those reasons and I look back to what I was doing in my life, to what I want to do in my life in the future, I didn't want to go back to that. So that's my why, to keep going forward. Um, so always remember why you started something. Yesterday I was listening to an audiobook from The Strangest Secrets in the World by Earl Nightingale, and he was talking about the why. He was talking about people. There's two different people in this world. The people that they do what they love and they keep going because of that, because they love, and the other people that just do it. So the people, for example, if you see someone doing a job that maybe they don't like it, but they have a why they're doing it, because they need to bring food on the table or they need to pay bills. So that's their why for them. Now, for this business, we're looking for a better why for you to have a better lifestyle, not doing something that you're really not enjoying, and that you're working long hours for a small pay that might not be even enough to be able to sustain your family. So this is the why, like, to keep fighting for something better for you and your family. So always remember, there's gonna be downs, but the thing is, like, how can you go back and continue remembering your why? Why do you start? Why are you doing this? Why you want to keep changing, you know, and fighting for what you want? So always remember that, to remember your why you started this, to help you to keep going forward. Because if you're going back to where you was, nothing's going to change. So, okay, so point three.
Okay, point number 3, adjust and don't abandon. So a setback is not a stop sign, it's a signal to adjust. You just have to make some adjustments to make whatever it is that you're trying to do, make it work for you. Maybe it's time to change your strategy, not your dream. There's so many ways to accomplish the things that you're trying to do, but you have to find the right way. And just because it worked a certain way for somebody else doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. So you have to find your own strategy, find the way to make it work for you, right? Maybe you need to slow down, simplify it, or ask for help. And that's something else. When you're stuck, like if you're trying to do something and you're seriously stuck and you don't know which way or how to keep going, then reach out. It's as simple as that. You for sure, if you're doing something, somebody else is doing the same thing, right? So reach out and ask for advice, ask for help. And we're so blessed that within this business we have a large community, so we have so many people that we can reach out to and ask for help when we get stuck. But it's easy to feel down and to feel demotivated, but when that happens, that doesn't mean you have to quit. Maybe you just have to take things slower and reach out, so that somebody can guide you, help you with whatever it is that you're having trouble with. Maybe it's time to refocus on the small wins instead of the big picture for the moment. And this one here, I would say, is key. We tend to be so focused on our large goal that we forget about the small wins that we have every day. And believe me, if you really sit down and you think about the things that you did yesterday, you're going to see that you had a small wins. There's some small things that you did yesterday for your big goal, for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And you didn't even see it as that because you're so focused on the big goal. Like, when am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? But you need to enjoy the journey, enjoy it. And then, it's going to make it less stressful, and it's going to give you the peace knowing that, yes, I'm doing, I'm doing baby steps, but I'm doing them and I'm gaining and achieving things every day. And then an example is most people quit right before the breakthrough. Don't be that person. Shift, learn, adapt, but keep going. And I'm sure we have all heard stories about people giving up, right before they hit their breakthrough. And you don't want to be that person, right? Always think about it when you're feeling like you want to give up. Always think that you could be a step away from the breakthrough. Just keep going. Maybe take some rest and really get energized to keep going the next day. But don't quit. Don't give it up. Don't say that you're not going to do it anymore. Resilience is about pushing harder. Resilience isn't about pushing harder. It's about adjusting smarter. So there's always a way, right? You just have to think about the best way to get there. And it doesn't have to be the hardest way. Maybe it's the easiest way, and you're just overthinking it and you don't see it. But there's always a way to do things, and there's always more than one way. So just always be mindful of that and keep that in mind.
Yes, this is a really, really good point, because it's just a reminding, we're giving advice about it because sometimes when we put our goals, and something happen in our life, let's see, now I have to run a marathon every day at 9 o'clock in the morning, like I have to run like 10Ks or something like that. And that does maybe the setback because now I cannot wake up early, or like if something happened when I have to pick up my kids or drop out my dogs at 9 in the morning. That doesn't mean I'm going to like give up my dreams. If my dream is run that 10K, I still have the whole day to run the 10K. You know what I mean? It's just about adjusting, not changing your goals, because we always say dream big, don't change your goals. You just have to adjust. Sometimes life happens, things happen, you can get sick, something can happen, sometimes can be just yourself that you don't know how to do things, but or you're not well aware about something that is really booming, or something that is giving you better results. But that doesn't mean you're going to stop. You're going to learn about that, but you're not going to stop dreaming. You don't want to stop your goals. You just have to adjust it. Maybe you have to go and do it slow. Maybe you have to ask for help. Maybe you have to get another training, or maybe you have to get someone to look at it, maybe you just need to talk with someone. So um don't stop your goals. That's not what we want. We want resilience, because if you have that resilience, and that's, you have to work on it. That's not something that you say, oh, I have resilience or whatever. Like something that you have to work on it. Like it's not, because if you're like, sometimes you can be weak. Sometimes maybe that step was that's something that is holding you down. You are the one that making it too big. Maybe it's not that complicated, but you cannot see forward that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to change my goal. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop it. Maybe it will take me 3 years, maybe it will take me 5 years, maybe it will take me 10 years, but I will get there. Sometimes because we see other people getting it like in 6 months and a year, where we want to be, you know and then we say, oh, I cannot do it anymore, or I don't I my strategy is not working. So when that happen, we stop comparing yourself. Keep that resilient, keep going. Don't wait that change your goal. Don't wait that will stop your goals, because maybe that person that you're comparing to, maybe that was not their goals. Maybe their goals is something else farther, and they still have to keep going. Maybe it take them like 5 years to get wherever they are. We don't know. So why you should change your goals? So don't change it. Keep going. You just have to adjust, see what you have to change, maybe do something different, add something different, to get that path going, take a course, talk to some friends, keep the training, maybe do something continuously so you get better. So don't change your goals. Just keep it going and just try to make it something better and smarter for you.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Jesse. Just to add a little quickly, I'm just gonna simplify it like um, this point, kind of like a GPS. You go into your car, you're going for a trip, so you started from point A to point B. So think it as point B is your goal you want to achieve, right? So you enter your GPS, and then there is a construction ahead. That's a setback. Okay. So the GPS, what it says, it does a reroute, but it's going to take you to the same destination. So it's the same thing in life. You get a setback. What do? You reflect first. Okay, what is it that I need to change? Why this setback happens is something that I need to learn, to be able to continue and be better. That's part of the growth. Or is it something that I need to change this strategy because it's not working? You know, so this example of the analogy of the GPS with the car taking you to point A to point B, and having those constructions which are setback, that's the same thing in life. You have to, what we talked, from the beginning, you have to acknowledge first whatever is wrong. You have to reflect, and what is it that I need to change? Are the things that I need to work? Do I need help on something? Can I ask for help? Finding the solution of that setback, or whatever the setback, because the setback could be anything. It could be sometimes a lesson that you needed to learn. It could be something that the strategy is not working, so you gotta modify. But the thing is here is to keep going. Find a solution and continue your journey. So same as the trip, from point A to point B, and the GPS rerouting to take you to point B. All right, so let's go to the key takeaways of this topic.
Okay, so key takeaways. Setbacks are part of the journey, but they don't define you. What defines you is how you rise, how you refocus, and how you reignite your fire again and again. You're allowed to bend, you're allowed to cry, but don't give up. Giving up is not an option, because your story, your mission, your dreams, they're still valid, they're still possible, and they're still waiting for you. So don't be the one to give up on yourself and give up on your dreams.
Yes. Okay, so we have arrived to the end of our life. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business, and start earning online, all you have to do is register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar, which we happen to have one tonight at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So one link is to register to the live webinar. So that link will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday and one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. And the other link is to take you to the replay link. So just in case you cannot make it to tonight's live webinar, that's not a problem. We can send you the replay of the link, and you can watch it at your own convenience from the comfort of your own home. So now when you watch the webinar, you're going to find out that how our online business plan works. And also you get to hear from the panelists, which we're going to show you in a few moments, where they're going to be showing to you why they decided to start their online business, and how this online business has transformed their lives. So they're going to be sharing that with you. On that same email that we talked before, we also invite you to our private Facebook group, where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So let's see who were the hosts and panelists for tonight. Who are the hosts and panelists for tonight's live webinar?
Okay, so don't forget to register on the websites you see on the screen if you want to receive the link to attend the live webinar. It's tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our host for today is Chris and Karen. Karen is a former principal, and Chris is a firefighter. Dustin is a nurse. Uh, PB and Josh, PB is a former registered nurse, and Josh is an Airbnb host. And Audi is a registered nurse. We also have Mike and Lynn, a franchise owners and entrepreneurs.
We also have Eunice, a nurse practitioner, Stephanie, healthcare worker, and Deborah Ann, a member service rep. So as you see, we have different walks of life that decided to change their life. The majority we have like for those who are in the health industry, we have lots of from the health industry tonight. So if you relate, to them, you can listen to their story, and they're going to be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their life. So the replay of this live webinar has subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages. So that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live today with us. And for those catching the replay, thank you so much too. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. We want to say thank you for all the emojis. So we have emojis here from Anthony E. Anyan Yu, Muhando Muhina, Atibo Datiana Fatima, Emmanuel Lucas, Teste Restifal. So thank you so much for all your like
Thank
emojis, and thank you
you.
for watching. Um, we also hope that the topic that we share with you today will inspire you. I mean, this is not only for online business; it also applies to real life. So, it's something that that will give you that insight on what to do when you face those kind of setbacks and how to bounce back. So if you want to share anything, like related to the topic today, you can put it in the comments. Or if you want to comment something, or if you want to learn how you can start your online business, just type the comment more info, or you can send us a private message. So let's find out what is the topic for next week.
Okay, so next week we have another very interesting topic: owning your journey, celebrating progress over perfection. So if you're in YouTube, don't forget to set your notifications so you can watch us every Thursday when we come live. And normally we do this every Thursday between 3:30 and 4, so Eastern time. So guys, don't forget to watch us and learn about these very good topics that we're sharing.
Yes. So going back to the next week's topic, we're gonna talk about how to stop comparing, start appreciating, and celebrating every step you have taken. So don't miss it. Next Thursday, 12:30 p.m. PST and 3:30 p.m. EST. So we have more. So
Okay, so drop a spark in the comments if you have ever bounced back from a setback, and share one thing that helped you rise again, and let's encourage each other. So don't forget to put it in the comments, guys. We want to hear from you, and maybe there's some key takeaways that you have that will help us as well.
yeah, for me, I have two in two occasions. So for me, once was thanks to a member of our global community. That's why I was able to bounce back. And the other one for me was remembering my why. So that's the one from the topic for today. All right. So we want to say thank you again for everyone for being here with us today. And hope the topic that we share with you really will give you that insight and inspiration to keep moving forward, not only in we're talking about the business, but not only in the business, but also in the life, in general, because this also applies to our life. So saying that, we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and a happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday, and a happy and blessed weekend ahead because we're so close to the weekend. So happy and blessed weekend to everyone. And thank you again for watching and for being here with us. And until the next episode of the
Latin
Latin Voices.
voices.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Bye.
Bye. Have a good evening.